Coming up tonight on Sports Paws, a lot to catch up on in Quinnipiac athletics after a long summer off season.
Valerie Perkins from the Quinnipiac women's field hockey team joins us live in studio.
And we'll hear from our own Kyle Lavasser for an update on Quinnipiac rugby looking for a four-peat.
Sports Paws starts right now. Good evening and welcome into Studio 125. I'm Robin Brown.
And I'm MJ Baird. And Robin, the last time Q30 was on your airwaves was way back in early May. How long ago does that feel?
A long time. We've been away for a while.
We have been away for quite a while. So, in order to catch you up on what you've missed, we're back on campus and we're into fall season, but our own Chris Dacey has all your summer news that you need to know. Chris?
Robin, MJ, thank you. There might have not been any competition for the Bobcats over the summer break, but there was plenty of news. Let's get started on the men's ice hockey team with Bo Pieper. The senior forward was named the ECAC Men's Ice Hockey Student Athlete of the Year. This is the most prestigious award a player can win, and Pieper is the second Bobcat in a row to receive the award after Derek Smith won last year. Still on the ice, there was 8 different Quinnipiac men's ice hockey players attending NHL developmental camps. Senior Chase Brisky was with the Washington Capitals. The junior goalie, Andrew Shortridge, was skating with the LA Kings. The defenseman Carlos Chuksti was working out with the San Jose Sharks. Another defenseman, Brogan Rafferty, was with the New York Rangers. Keith Petrozelli was up in Detroit with the Red Wings. Alex Whalen was practicing with the Hurricanes. And 2 freshmen, Peter Dillabator and Skylar Brindamore, practiced with the Golden Knights and the Oilers, respectively. And the last piece of news for the men's ice hockey team is their coach has been locked in with an extension that he signed over the summer until the 2022-2023 season. On to another winter sport team. The men's basketball team also signed their coach Baker Dunleavy to an extension to stay till the 2022-2023 season after he took the Bobcats to the MAC semifinals last season. Now on to the women's basketball team, where senior guard Adele Thornton had a busy summer as she represented her country, Ireland, and the European Championship for small countries. Another Bobcat representing her country was former rugby player Alona Marr. She played for Team USA in the World Cup Sevens tournament. To some spring sport news now, the softball team has a new head coach. Her name is Hillary Barrow, and she is coming to Hamden from Florida International University, where she served as an assistant coach. And for the last summer news, it was not good news for the latest men's basketball player to reach the 1,000-point mark. Chase Daniels reached the milestone last season, but he was arrested outside a bar in Hamden on assault and breach for peace charges. For the full story, check out our website at www.q30tv.com. That's all for the summer news, as the season is back in session for the fall. Time to go back to MJ and Robin at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. MJ, are you ready to hit the ground running?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, let's take it to the pitch. Head coach Becky Carlson took the reins of the women's rugby team just 6 years ago and has never lost a season opener. That was until the last week when the Harvard Crimson came to town. The Crimson handed the Bobcats their first loss of the season, 32-19. Much of the first half was back and forth, with both teams exchanging tries, but a late first half score from Harvard gave it a lead it would never relinquish. Despite the loss, the team's spirits after the games may surprise you. Let's have a listen.
I would say that we're absolutely right where we want to be.
This was probably, in my years here, the best first game we've ever had.
I just told the team this is probably the happiest that I've been with a team that has lost.
All the freshmen played really well today.
Saturday featured a rematch of
I would say that we're absolutely right where we want to be.
This was probably, in my years here, the best first game we've ever had.
I just told the team this is probably the happiest that I've been with a team that has lost.
All the freshmen played really well today. I was really impressed. So I think we've got a good starting point and we can only go up.
We didn't have as many points as the opposition when the whistle blew, but I was really proud of how we came together with 1/3 of our team being completely brand new. I'm really excited because it's really not how you start the season, it's how you finish.
Robin, losing the home opener, definitely not the start the Bobcats were looking for, but they did have a chance to right the ship this past weekend. The Bobcats hosted the Dartmouth Big Green on the very field where Quinnipiac lifted the NIRA championship trophy just a season ago. Our own Kyle Lavasser was at the game and has more on the rematch from Hamden.
Saturday featured a rematch of the 2017 NIRA National Championship. Quinnipiac looked to notch its first win of the year against 1-0 Dartmouth. While no national title was on the line this time, the Big Green got revenge on the Bobcats with a 40-22 win. I caught up with Quinnipiac head coach Becky Carlson after the game.
I think that we're figuring out which people go where right now and where we're utilizing our strengths and letting them kind of figure those things out.
While Quinnipiac started the first half slow and trailed 28-10 at halftime, the Bobcats clawed their way back into the game with tries from co-captain Mika Maples and freshman Clara Lamal Brown, cutting the deficit to just 28-22.
You saw the rugby that we are capable of playing in that first 5 minutes of the second half. They just came out swinging. We made all the adjustments, and this is one of the things that I absolutely love about this team is when you give them a goal and something to work on and you're very specific, they go out and they get it. Everything that we said at that halftime break was executed within that first 5 minutes. And then what tends to happen is it's rugby and everybody tends to get tired.
Maples notes that Lamal Brown and the rest of the freshmen are being aggressive and are a vital piece to the Bobcats.
When they got here, they knew that they had to contribute a lot. We lost so many seniors, so many All-Americans, but they've come in and they've really done their work and they've made a big impact.
Lamal Brown has definitely impacted Quinnipiac's offense. She scored her second try of the season on Saturday, catching the eye of her head coach.
That was crazy. Clara makes something out of nothing. I mean, the ball really just bounces into her hands, and she uses her agility, and she's gained us those points, and we're really trying to work that ball out to her.
The Bobcats travel to the Norwich Cadets next Saturday. Reporting from the Quinnipiac rugby field, Kyle Lavasser, Q30 Sports.
It's time to take a look at our first Twitter poll of the year. Q30 asked Bobcat fans to weigh in on whether or not rugby would four-peat as NIRA champions this season. And well, would you look at that? 62% MJ said no. I mean, do you agree? Are you pretty shocked?
I mean, I agree with that. They lost a lot of big players graduating or leaving the team from last year. So for more on this, let's bring in Q30's rugby beat reporter, Kyle Lavasser. Kyle, let me ask you the same question that we just asked our viewers via Twitter. Should we be concerned with an 0-2 start?
MJ, Robin, thanks for having me. And, you know, it's really an interesting question because these are uncharted waters for this rugby team. And the 0-2 start, it's sports, it happens. And Becky Carlson had that same exact message right after their loss against Dartmouth and their second loss of the season. So it's an interesting scenario. What I look at is the interesting dynamic of experience. You have 9 freshmen on the team and only 2 seniors. Those are really crazy numbers, but when you look at the players that are returning, the sophomores, the juniors, the seniors, every season that they've been on the team, they've won a national championship. So they know what it takes to get done. Plus, at the top of that ship, steering the wheel, is Becky Carlson, who is one of the best coaches, not just in rugby, but also at this school. She knows how to win. She's a competitor, and she'll know how to turn these freshmen, but plenty of them who have not even played rugby before and are just amazing athletes, she'll know how to turn them into amazing rugby players. I also look at the schedule for this team. The first 2 games off the bat, one of them is against Harvard, who every single year is competing for the national championship. They made it to the NIRA semifinals just a year ago. And then you have Dartmouth the game after. They were actually in the NIRA championship game. So that's a tough way to start the season. I'm not too concerned. We got the team has an interesting 3-game road series that we should definitely look at.
Kyle, you've been around this team a bit, so what's different from this year's team compared to the past seasons that you've been a beat reporter?
Well, MJ alluded to it earlier. They're losing a lot of talent. 5 All-Americans graduated from this team just a season ago. The biggest name is Ilona Marr. If you don't know who she is, well, look her up because she is the best rugby player to ever come out of Quinnipiac's program. She's a once-in-a-lifetime player. Her size, her speed, she was a threat at all moments on the rugby pitch to score. So they're going to be losing a lot with her, not just with her skill set, but the other team would always attract a lot more attention to Marr when she was on the field. Now they have to have Mika Maples fill that role. And while she's done a good job so far, you know, Ilona Marr, what are you going to do? She's a once-in-a-lifetime player.
Kyle, thank you so much. Real quick, one-word answer. Can they four-peat? Bottom line.
One word is tough. I say there's a chance.
There's a chance. All right. More from Kyle. You can check that out in all his beat reporter content on our website. Kyle, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Switching gears to women's soccer now, Dave Clark's Bobcats wrapped up their out-of-conference games last week. A trip to Lowell for the Bobcats to face UMass, and we have your highlights. We'll take you right to the first half of action, and Robin, if you haven't seen this highlight yet, and I don't think our viewers have, check out these moves.
Okay.
Lauren Triglione, I think they call that nutmeg in the sport of soccer. That was beautiful. She crosses the ball in, but she gets a fantastic bounce. You know, definitely rewarding her good moves there. That one goes in. It's 1-0 Quinnipiac. Second half, Lily Fabian, check out this blistering speed. Down the left sideline, she just puts a beautiful ball into the front. Looks like a little miscommunication on the Quinnipiac back line. That leaves Rachel Morier open. Her volley finds the net. It's 1-1. And a little bit of a broken play here. The ball kind of just bouncing around in the box. Hannah Ryder finds it. Her strike from in front gets through. It's 2-1 Bobcats. A few minutes later, the ball all around in front of the Quinnipiac goal. That just seemed to be the story of the game. Loose balls in the box. Emily Nelson tucks in her shot to even the score at 2. So, to extra time we go. It's golden goal format, the second overtime period. Kylie Lance at the top of the box. Check this one out. She runs right in, uses her right foot to throw a strike towards the center of the net, but that one gets through the goaltender's hands. That's your winner, 4-3 Quinnipiac, the final.
Well, from there, MJ, we might as well stay with women's soccer here after that performance and that last goal. So the Bobcats headed to Hamden, back home to face the New Jersey Institute of Technology. And here we'll take it in the first half as this game began with an early roller right into the net by Madison Burrowick. But let's see what happens here. Because MJ, the official calls it offsides. Yes, and there is no goal allowed. Now NJIT gets the kick, and she puts it right in the net off of that deflection, and Fiona Wright gets her first goal of the game. Let's hear from Dave Clark.
Just didn't play the way we trained or any of the things that we wanted them doing.
Well, we're gonna head into the second half here as Jess Cassia with the launch, Burrowick with the header, and we have a tied ball game, 1-1. Now, I want our viewers to take a close look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why women's soccer has one of the highest concussion rates in collegiate athletics.
Hello.
Yes, Selena Salas right there with the penalty kick, and the Bobcats take a 2-1 lead. With 18 minutes remaining, Burrowick notches her second goal of the game. Quinnipiac completes the comeback and wins the game 3-1. Here's more from Clark on the postgame.
You know, you look at the teams and where we thought we were going to get goals, and we got 4 on Thursday and we got 3 again today, and different players and different situations are popping up and different types of goals. So hopefully that's what we can build on and use. You know, there's still little things. You know, don't want to go a goal down, don't want to give away silly goals, but you know, you're never going to play the perfect game. You're striving for it. You know, we talk about now is more excellence and just the execution. So we'll look at a few things, but overall I was happy with the performance.
Clark and his Bobcats open up MAC play this weekend on the road against Siena. Now, these two teams ended up one above the other in the 2018 coaches preseason poll. We'll have a look at it for you right now. Quinnipiac, receiving 3 more votes, lands in the number 2 slot. Siena came in at number 3, and it is defending champion Monmouth who received the most votes and is the favorite to win the conference title once again this year.
Well, it's time for our first break, but still to come on Sports Paws, our first edition of Top 5 Plays of the Year.
And Robin, when we come back, Quinnipiac field hockey midfielder Valerie Perkins is live in studio. You're not going to want to miss this interview, so we'll be right back.
From Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
If you like debate, that's a converted relief pitcher making the start because it was a doubleheader. You got no hit by a relief pitcher. You can't tell me that's not embarrassing.
Analysis.
You can see his stance, his positioning right there is excellent.
And a side of entertainment.
Is he right or is he crazy?
Well, we all know the answer to that. He's a bit crazy, but I gotta say, you know.
Then join us on Bobcat Breakdown.
From the court to the ice to here on the diamond, we'll discuss everything you need to know about Quinnipiac athletics.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking with us. Head coach Becca Main and her Quinnipiac field hockey team welcomed the number 19 ranked Maine Black Bears to campus this weekend. It was the second nationally ranked team to visit Hampton this year. The Bobcats prepping a good out-of-conference schedule for this young team. Let's take a look at some of the action. So, Robin, only three seniors on the roster this season for the Bobcats, and one of them is that goaltender right there, number 34, Hannah Teicher. She's stepping in to fill an opening after Livy Golini transferred to Boston University last season. And she's tested early here, Maine with the penalty shot. That one goes in bottom left, and UMaine leads 1-0. Later on now, this ball is going to get all the way through the Quinnipiac defense to the far post. Putting that one in is Maine, and is now 2-1. Quinnipiac with a set play of their own to even the score. It's Elisa Ruiz Martinez with a nice pass to Elisa, her fellow Elisa, and it is now 2-2. UMaine, though, check out these moves. Putting that one in, it's now 3-2, and that is your final. Here's Alyssa Van Winkle after the game.
Let's have a look at the Big East preseason poll as the Bobcats prepare for conference play next weekend.
Robin, Big East, big conference.
It is a big conference, and let's see where Quinnipiac, right in the middle, MJ, spotted at number 5 right there. So room to go up, go down. Guess there's much to see.
That's right. The Bobcats have UConn this weekend, a perennial powerhouse in women's field hockey.
Very true.
All right, with that, let's send it over to Q30's field hockey beat reporter Josh Silverman, who's live with junior midfielder Valerie Perkins. Josh?
Thanks, MJ. I'm here with Quinnipiac field hockey forward Valerie Perkins. Valerie, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. So first off, you guys have had a lot of out-of-conference games so far, including 2 games against ranked opponents. How do those tough opponents help you get ready for conference play?
Those opponents really help to test our game skills that we've acquired throughout preseason and in the early scrimmages. So they were good tests to show us what we can improve on, and they also showed us that we have been working really hard and have the potential to beat these up-and-coming conference teams.
And now you've already scored a goal this year. Your lone goal came against Vermont. In your 3rd year on the team, what are you trying to improve on throughout every game?
I definitely want to be more consistent and help lead the younger players and set an example. But I definitely am there to do my job and score goals. So, yeah.
And now half this team is full of new players, and that's not a hyperbole. There are 12 new players on this team. How is the chemistry developing throughout every game?
We're definitely getting more comfortable with the younger players because they are coming into the game and they're stepping up. So they're assimilating well into our team right now.
And now Nina Klein came over from UConn, one of the best goalies to ever do it. How is she helping this team?
She's giving us a new perspective on the game right now, which is awesome. So she's bringing her experience from UConn, her national championships, and she's helping us become better each day.
And real quick, you're traveling to UConn on Saturday. How excited are you for that game?
Definitely very excited. First conference game. They're a tough team, but I think we're ready to take them on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Valerie. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Joss. Let's toss it over to volleyball and head to the court. The Bobcats competed in the Bryant Invitational this weekend. The Bobcats were served 7 straight losses to open up the 2018 season, but secured their first win on Friday, sweeping Coppin State 3-0. The Bobcats attack combined for 38 kills to open the tournament, led by outside hitter Morgan Sherwin and middle Lydia Jones.
Yeah, Robin, in the middle game of the tournament saw Quinnipiac back to its old ways. However, the Bobcats didn't go down without a fight. Middle Tennessee took the first set for early momentum, but Quinnipiac found its groove and won back-to-back sets in the 2nd and 3rd. But the team couldn't close things out with the lead and dropped the final 2 sets to lose in 5. Kat Miller lined the stat sheet with 11 kills, 4 blocks, and 3 service aces.
Now, MJ, in their final match of the weekend, Bryant's Haley O'Brien earned the first point of the set with a kill, and the Bulldogs, never trailed. Although falling to Bryant, Morgan Sherwin led the team with 12 kills, and Callie Oates played one of the top matches of her career. Oates tallied 11 kills alongside a career-high 6 blocks.
And Robin, one player had a great individual performance at the tournament. It's Morgan Sherwin. She finished the tournament with 27 kills, 9 digs, and 1 block. Her performance earned her all-tournament team honors. Well, we're only 10 games into this volleyball season, but the Quinnipiac team has seen a roller coaster of success the past 3 seasons. In 2016, they won a program-high 21 games. Last season, they barely reached double digits with only 10 wins. And so far in 2018, they only have 1 victory to show. Now, this team still has 18 conference games to play, far more important than pre-conference play. And it is too early to jump to any conclusions.
I agree, MJ. And the Bobcats are not debuting immediate success that they had hoped for. But what is this lack of prosperity accredited to? Well, for starters, the roster not only boasts fresh faces, but it also lacks the return. Notable players such as 6'1" power hitter Jen Coffey decided not to return for her senior season due to an ankle injury. In 17 games she competed in, she recorded 10 kills per match. Alongside Coffey were 3 other Bobcats who departed from the program. However, with all the turnover, there are fresh faces looking to be infused into the lineup this season. Head coach Chris Saplinski signed 4 players to the class of 2022, and he spoke highly of his recruiting class, stating they will all bring a different dimension to the team that we have lacked. They also are bringing depth in positions that we have needed for a while.
All right, Robin. Well, it's time for another quick break, but when we come back.
Quinnipiac men's soccer has one player who is making huge strides coming off an injury a season ago. Who is it, and what are his latest achievements?
Plus, we close out the show with the best plays in Quinnipiac athletics this week. Sports Paws rolls on.
From Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
Hey there! These my children!
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
Debate.
That's a converted relief pitcher making the start because it was a doubleheader. You got no hit by a relief pitcher. You can't tell me that's not embarrassing.
Analysis.
You can see his stance, his positioning right there is excellent.
And a side of entertainment.
Is he right or is he crazy?
Well, we all know the answer to that. He's a bit crazy, but I gotta say, you know.
Then join us on Bobcat Breakdown.
From the court to the ice to here on the diamond, we'll discuss everything you need to know about Quinnipiac athletics.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
We are back, and there is still plenty of news to discuss. The World Cup had its fair share of excitement this summer, and the Bobcats here were trying to feed the same injury. The Bobcats took on the University of New Hampshire this weekend. We will take it from the first half when this highlight plays right now. As I said, Quinnipiac faced the University of New Hampshire. Let's dive right into this one. In the first half, Linus Fahlberg has the ball here with the crafty footwork going up the line. Look at him, gets the bounce right past the goalie, and UNH takes the lead 1-0.
Good shot there from the left side.
Pretty good. As this UNH player is going up the right side, again with the footwork, but right past the goal on the left side, and that does not go in, as UNH is still leading 1-0 into the second half. The ball's up. It's going to bounce around, MJ. Up, around, in, and it is taken finally by Quinnipiac goaltender Jared Mazzola. The final score 1-0 Wildcats. Bobcats still looking for their first win.
With MAC play just around the corner, let's take a look at the preseason coaches poll on the men's side. The Bobcats landed in the number 4 spot. It was a close race for first and second. Canisius landed the most votes, but only by 1. They are the favorite. Ryder came in second, and Fairfield in third. Quinnipiac's first MAC game of the season is September 26th on the road against Canisius.
With 6 incoming freshmen and 3 transfers, head coach Eric DaCosta has quite the new roster, MJ.
He does.
Beat reporters Shane Dennehy and Jonathan Banks are here to explore the new faces of this team.
Thanks, MJ and Robin. Now I'm here with Quinnipiac men's soccer beat reporter Shane Dennehy. The Quinnipiac men's soccer team, they haven't won yet, but that doesn't mean there haven't been a few players that have caught the eye. Shane, they've had multiple players that have kind of just come into the team this year, whether it be transfers or freshmen. So to you, who has stood out the most?
I definitely think that someone who gets a little unsung, like being a deep lying midfielder, Dejan Duric, really flies under the radar. Obviously, not really getting a lot of scoring chances, but he's someone that's very important to a soccer team. You need someone in that deep-lying midfield position to really be in the spawn of the team, and I think that's what he brings. He's 6'2", coming over from Germany. He's really taken over that position and already made it his own, with Quinnipiac losing a lot of seniors in the midfield this past year to graduation with James Doig, Mats Rothenbuter, Shaq Huggins. So for him to come in and really put his stamp his authority on this team already is really a very impressive thing for a young freshman to do.
Yeah, and he really is your classic pivot there. He's kind of in front of the back four, behind the other 2 central midfielders. Eric DaCosta likes to play that 4-3-3 formation, So Duric kind of just sits there, takes the ball from the center backs, and plays the ball wide and gets his teammates open. So he plays simple, he's industrious, so he's really good. But for me, I think Duric has been doing well, but I really like what Jordan Bennett's doing. He can play on the right as a right back, he can play left back. He's even moved up in midfield for Eric DaCosta. And what I like about him, he's a cool head, Shane. He's calm, loves the ball at his feet, makes good decisions. He plays Duric, as we talked about, in the center. He just loves to drop his shoulder and move forward with the ball. He plays the center backs as well. And even when Eric DaCosta sometimes is chasing a game, he wants to play more direct, and they go to that 3-5-2 formation with 2 up top. Bennett can play as a wing back, and he gets forward really well there. He can play on the right or the left, so he's really a versatile player. The men's soccer team will be back in action tomorrow night against NC State, ranked number 8 in the country, so that's sure to be a good one. For Shane Dennehy, I'm Jonathan Banks. Back to you guys, MJ and Robin at the desk.
Oh, what a true pro.
A new year means new players, new coaching schemes, and new competition for Quinnipiac Athletics.
Q30's own Brian Schwartz discusses the growing potential for a great year on our newest segment, Schwartz Speaks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hello. School is in session, and that means college sports are back. More specifically, Quinnipiac Athletics. Now, here's the thing. This year has all the potential in the world for the Quinnipiac Bobcats. The rugby team can make it 4 straight national championships. The field hockey team in the Big East can make another move in their beautiful new facility. The soccer teams are both coming off MAC semifinal appearances. One more step, and they could be NCAA tournament bound. Volleyball, rough start, but let's reevaluate during conference play. Then weather gets colder and winter sports get going. Quinnipiac women's basketball. This team will go undefeated in MAC play, and as long as they don't draw UConn, Sweet 16, likely. Quinnipiac men's basketball, top 4 finish in the MAC, and a run and maybe cutting down the Albany Nets, book it. Quinnipiac women's ice hockey, hosting the Frozen Four. Quinnipiac men's ice hockey, always exciting, and look for a bounce-back year. Acro and tumbling, the best team you've never heard of. You'll hear about them here, plenty. Springtime, baseball looked strong last season. They could take another leap. Softball has a brand new coach. Men's Blacks went undefeated in the MAC last season, one of the strongest programs in Hamden. Women's Blacks, fresh year, fresh start. Golf, tennis, cross country, track and field. Look out every single year. Got all that? Now let's take a breath. Exhale. Good. That's a lot of teams. That's a lot of success. That's a lot of potential. Big year coming up. Tie the laces, tuck in the shirt. Get ready. It's just about game day. And there will be plenty of exciting ones. I'm Brian Schwartz.
Brian, thank you very much. Robin, let's turn this energy up before we go. The best plays in KU athletics so far this season. Let's roll them. We count them 5 through 1. Robin, you are up.
Well, MJ, number 5, Clara Lamal Brown steams right on by the path right here, and she scores the try. Quinnipiac will, though, fall to Dartmouth 40 22.
Quinnipiac men's soccer taking on UNH. Robin, we just saw this. I'm sorry, Quinnipiac field hockey. We just saw this one a little while earlier. Look at that set play from the Bobcats.
Wow.
Very nicely done.
Clear shot. Number 3. Now, MJ, this is what I like to call a good Wi-Fi connection. Pass up the middle finds Madison Burrowick for the goal.
Moving on to play number 2 in Quinnipiac Athletics from this past week. Now we're at men's soccer UNH. Look at the moves on this one from outside the 10-yard line. That one finds the far post. By the way, too, I really don't like that football field. I mean, can't they get their own soccer field up there in Durham?
The final play, MJ. Al Pelletier passes through the legs of Selena Salas, and Kylie Lance gets it through the legs of the UMass goalie. Quinnipiac wins this game in double overtime, 4-3.
Exciting. I think we did good with the energy, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have tonight. We thank you for tuning in to this episode of Q30 Sports.
You can check out everything Q30 has to offer on our website, q30tv.com, and on our social media at Q30 Television and at Q30 Sports.
For our entire production crew behind the scenes, our producers, and of course, my co-host Robin Brown, I'm MJ Baird. Farewell from Studio 125.